3. We are live. We. Hello, everyone that's watching. Obviously, you know who we are. I'm Unicorn Leah, Jet DesertFox. We're on our Airsoft honeymoon right now.
Milsim honeymoon.
Our Milsim honeymoon.
It's a military simulation honeymoon.
Yeah, this is why, like, Jet doesn't normally wear this jacket.
Yeah,
that's why he looks like this.
I do. I love 1990.
Oh goodness. So, do you want to tell them who you're LARPing as?
Okay.
No.
Well, I wanted it to be like a surprise.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. You'll have to figure it out then, I guess.
Okay. Oh, you want to just check it from my phone? Well, because I don't have the
We have 34 viewers.
I don't have the right pants on. That's why.
I know. It's okay. You don't have to stand
like
up.
It'll just be like that doesn't look like it. That's not the right pants.
So anyway, for those of you that are watching, we flew up. If you watch my channel, you know that on
sad dog.
If you watch my channel, you know that on Monday I was all stressed out because we were going to spend a whole day traveling. On Wednesday, which we did, we flew up here into actually Seattle. We hung out in Seattle for a day and then came down to Portland the next day with some of our friends. And you guys will meet my friend Ginger. She is going to be playing Airsoft for the very first time this weekend. And for her very first game,
Milsim West.
she is going to a 65-hour Milsim West game. So I hope she doesn't hate life.
I can't see.
We'll find out.
I can't see the comments.
Are there no comments? I don't know.
Hang on, we're trying to, because we can't see the comments on.
We're still learning
live,
how to do the YouTubes.
How
honestly.
do you live on YouTube? Oh no!
Oh no, not again.
That was not the right button.
Sorry. I'm messing it up.
I thought I was gonna be able to see the comments on here on my phone.
Maybe I have them disabled. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Last time we did this though, it didn't show up.
None of the comments?
Like no. I couldn't see the comments for a little while for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
So, hey everyone. I don't know if you can comment. I don't know how to find out if you can comment.
Maybe we can use this other
Avery's computer.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go ask him.
Oh, okay. This is super smooth.
Yeah.
It's a super smooth hangout. So I want to make sure that people can comment, and I don't know if they're seeing our comments right now.
Hang with us. We're trying to get another computer so we can look at the comments. Also, sorry in advance for the quality of this video. I'm sure for everyone watching on the live stream that is watching right now live, that it looks fine, but we're using the same laptop we used to do my live stream for the gear prep for this trip, and everyone was like, what did you film this on, a potato?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
The funniest things I saw were like, did you film this on a potato? The quality is cancer. Okay. I mean, it is kind of, it's not the best quality. When we get back to California, we're gonna research some. We're gonna research
more live streaming camera options.
Yeah.
Because we're obviously super noobs at live streaming. Sorry.
We'll get it though.
For those of you that are watching and have to put up with us acting like we're 65 and don't know how to technology. I don't know how to
How do you work this
technology.
fangled computer thing? Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so we've got the other laptop going. Now we can see comments. So if you guys want to start, see already, potato quality.
Oh, I can't see them.
If you guys want to start asking questions, we will start answering them. How long did you want the stream?
We're going to live stream for 30 minutes. So we started at 11:31, and we can take your comments for the next 20
minutes, and also we'll talk about other stuff.
26 minutes.
We already went over while we're up here, right?
Yeah, we're here for Milsim West Clash on the Steps. It's going to be a really long Milsim game. It's a 65-hour game, and it's completely immersive. So you're in the field for 65 hours. And you ruck out into the field with everything that you need for the whole weekend.
Now, one thing to note, it's physically impossible to bring out that much food for this long amount of time, or for this period of time. So there's a bunch of meal plans set out, and I think what NATO is going to do is people are bringing food, but it's getting staged in another area, and then it'll get brought to them. I think
it's just going to be like a chow line that we're going to go through.
No, I'm talking about for the NATO players who don't have that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was trying to
Obviously.
I was trying to read the comments because you're not reading them.
Well.
So I didn't understand.
Okay, here. I'll
Most of them are like, please give me a shout out.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not a question.
Airsoft Max, because you used a bajillion emojis. Jet, is it worth getting the Token Rear Recoil Shock M4? I have no idea. I have not used that gun, so I don't really have. I can't give you an opinion because I haven't used it, and that's one thing I really try to strive to do, is not say anything good or bad about guns that I haven't used yet. So if you ask me something and I haven't used it, I'm just gonna say I haven't used it, so I have no idea. Atlas XCS, is poisoning the enemy food supply allowed? Come on, it's Milsim.
No.
No, you can't. That'd be impossible to get to, though. You'd have
is that
to,
allowed in real war? Real war?
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you don't do their food though. You poison water supplies and stuff. That's what happened a lot in World War II, especially in the Pacific theater where they were island hopping, because there's not, you're on an island, but fresh water is kind of limited. So the Japanese would poison water holes or wells. And
I assume that you wouldn't be able to do it because you would also be poisoning civilians.
Well, yeah, they didn't care.
Yeah, but now, with the Geneva Convention, you wouldn't be able to do that, right? Because it would be killing a lot of civilians. Maybe if you were part of the Geneva Convention. Yeah. All the people that would do stuff like that obviously are not part of it.
We're the only ones that follow that.
Yeah, that's something that I'm really excited about is this guy that wrote Level 0 Heroes. I'm reading that right now, and it's so good, super intense. He's going to be commander for the NATO side. So
his name, you should give his name.
Michael Gombleski.
Yeah, his name is Michael Gombleski. He was a JTAC. So he's the guy with 6 radios talking to all the planes in the sky.
Yeah, so he could call in. Basically, he worked with a MARSOC unit, and he could call in bombs.
Call in airstrikes.
Airstrikes. And I'm reading some of his book, and it's super intense. So I'm kind of cheesy, and I brought my book for him to sign. Okay, I'm probably going to make fun of.
There's a bunch of questions for me. This is Leah's live streaming. I should be asking questions to Leah. I'll answer a few questions, but
it's fine.
You're
the most popular.
Jared Cook, Jet and Leah, what was the worst game that you guys have played? Worst game. Something John Liu. Wait, the Lion's Claw Tactical Challenge.
Yeah.
That was
it was just really disappointing because it had so much potential to be really awesome. So we were playing Airsoft, and we could play it. They had this whole airplane graveyard filled with 747s, and we thought that we were going to get to do a hostage thing, and it ended up being in a plane where it was 6 of us versus, I don't know. It was really poorly put together and run.
Yeah.
So it had potential to be super amazing, and it was just really disappointing.
Yeah. So here's what okay. So you had 3 missions. Only one of the missions took place inside an airplane, and the mission that did take place inside the airplane, all the terrorists were hiding in closets in the bathroom, like, and it was supposed to mimic a terrorist cell hijacking an airliner.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, if terrorists hijacked an airliner and it was filled with people, they wouldn't be hiding in the closet. Like,
yeah, because then the people would just be like, the pilot would just be like, okay, well, you told me to fly over here, but you're hiding in a closet, so I'm obviously going to fly to my destination.
And I'm sure once like counter-terrorist people, storm the plane, all the passengers would be like, he's in the laboratory, and the terrorists would be like, oh shoot, this was probably not a smart idea. It was just badly staged by the OPFOR, and I don't know, a bunch of the missions didn't really make sense or played out well for Airsoft. Like, we get it, it's supposed to be a challenge, but when like you can't even, I don't know.
Well, the other bummer was the rest of it took place like underneath the planes. And so if you're in a battle underneath planes out in the middle of the desert, there's no room for cover. So you're basically just fighting across an open field, which was a bummer. Also, jump to Rostov was pretty miserable. I still had fun, but it was super miserable because it was torrential rain for 11 hours.
Yeah. Jared Marquis and Liquid Nation. Jet and Leah, what are your favorite guns?
Mine's my Unicorn Slayer from my custom gun from Thunder Kiss Northwest, because it shoots so amazing and so far, and it's the great troll gun.
I think my gun right now is my M40, which I'm gonna be using, and it was also upgraded by Thunder Kiss Northwest, so just goes to show how well Thunder Kiss Northwest does.
If you want a super badass gun, go to tknwcustoms.com, and they can build you a gun basically completely from scratch that will shoot to the moon. But you're going to have to pay for it. They're not going to do it for $200 because those guns are really expensive.
Oh, here's a good question. Poacher Airsoft. Leah, how do you deal with sexism?
Ignore it for the... Well, I think that I ignore it for the most part. You may disagree with me, but that's because you see me rant about it.
I see Rage Unicorn.
Yeah, you see Rage Unicorn. But I don't think that I show it as much in front of anyone else. I think he just mostly sees me rage. Because for the most part, all you can do is prove people wrong. Like, ignore it and prove them wrong and just be like, well, I'll show you. And so, like, I'll say Jump to Rostov was a good example of that. Started the game with 300 players, ended the game with only 60, and it was mainly all dudes that quit, and I didn't quit. So that's basically how I deal with it, is be better than them.
Levio Ranger, is sex even a thing? Not really. I mean, it's not a big
sexism.
Yeah,
it's not bad. Like, it happens. It happens sometimes. I do think that there are some instances where people either don't listen to me or won't work with me or won't do things just because they're like, oh, you're a girl and you have purple hair and you look ridiculous. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing. I think that happens to me a lot, but part of it's my fault because I like to have fun and I don't get super serial all the time. So they're probably just
true. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, people always go, Jet, you're too serious. Like, well, what do you want? Yeah.
I saw someone ask Jet and Leah, where did you meet? We met in Atlanta, Georgia, actually. We both went to SS Airsoft for their 4-year anniversary event. And we both flew from California. I lived in Northern California at the time, and he lived in Southern California. We both flew to Atlanta, and we met there. And we just started talking, and then he started visiting me, and then we were dating secretly for 6 months. Secretly. Yeah.
That's a good one. Oh, Jen and Leah, have either of you ever read the book with The Old Breed by E.B. Sledge? I have not. I've heard about the book, but I heard about it through watching The Pacific. I thought that was a really good series. If anyone doesn't know what that is, The Pacific is an HBO series similar to Band of Brothers that took place in the Pacific Theater of World War II. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So
No, I haven't heard of the book.
Yeah, I heard it's a really good book.
I'm still a noob. Well, it's a lot of comments at once. Favorite pistol? What is your favorite pistol? Mine is my CZP09. It's the one that I use the most.
That's
my action sports game CZP09, and I have the CO2 mags for it. It shoots really well. So that's basically my go-to. And then I like using the Walther PPQ because I have it in the wild berry color, which is pink, and I think it's funny.
I just wanted to show my shirt off.
Oh yeah, but you have to stand up a little bit so they can see the bottom.
I work hard.
I got this for Jet for our wedding. I work hard so my unicorn can live a better life. I like how look how thug that unicorn is.
That is a cool picture. And it kind of looks like you because it's got purple. Where's that pink?
It kind of looks like you because it's a horse.
No. No, it's not what I meant.
I know.
Jeez.
Have you ever used or wanted to use a Daytona gun?
I did, but
I've never wanted to.
I watched Shades struggle with this for an entire year, and I was like, maybe Daytona is not cool.
I never wanted to use one because every time I played Airsoft with Shades, he was working on his gun.
Yeah. And
so I was like, that does not, it's a cool concept, but it seems like it breaks a lot.
Here's a good one. Aiden Sanchez collab with Canadian Sniper this summer when he comes down. Actually, yeah. Dayton, the House Gamers, the Canadian Sniper already contacted me. We've been talking. He's coming down to California in the States in like June or something. I don't remember the time frame exactly, but we are going to meet up with him and play Airsoft with him at some point.
I can't wait to hear him apologizing. Sorry, I shot you.
Here.
Excuse me, sorry.
Let's see here. The White Devin, have you tried the Tippmann M4? If so, do you like it? I test fired it at Broken Home 3. No.
5.
5 is this
4.
year?
4. Sorry.
I've test fired it a couple times, and I think it's neat. I wish they would come up with a better system for their CO2 in the magazine thing, because I think that that gun is based off of the Tippmann 98, which is a really good paintball gun. It's probably the #1 rental paintball gun in paintball. If you go to any field and you're going to get a rental, they're going to hand you most likely a Tippmann 98. So that's basically the equivalent. That's the Airsoft equivalent that they're using. So it's a good system. I just haven't tried to use it in the field yet. Yeah. What's your take on it?
I've only shot it the same. I've only shot it at a shooting range, and so I feel like you can't really get a good feel for it. I feel like I would have to use HPA with it though, and not CO2, just because I don't like that once you take the mag out, you waste the whole CO2 cartridge.
Yeah.
So once you put the CO2 cartridge in there and you load your mag and you put it in your gun, you have to use it, or once you take it out, your CO2 is done. And that's kind of a bummer. So if you're at the end of a game, you slap a new one in and it's game over. Oh no, I just wasted this cartridge.
I like this. Taiga Airsoft Jet. I just bought the Shot Track HD. I love it. Going to have a gameplay video out soon. Yeah. Okay, so for all of you aspiring YouTube airsofters out there,
or even if you just want for yourself.
Yeah, even if you just want to confirm your kills.
Yeah.
There's kind of 3 essential cameras that you need. You need, your POV camera, which is probably going to be a GoPro or a Contour or whatever you're using. the reverse camera, which can be anything. Again, it can be a GoPro, it can be a replay, it can be a contour. But the hardest one that I see everyone struggle with is the zoom camera. I mean, at the level of airsoft gameplay on YouTube, you really need to have a zoom camera. And the best zoom camera right now, to me at least, is the ATN Shot Track. It looks tactical because you can get the HDX with a laser on it. It takes CR123 battery, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to keep it powered in the field with an external battery pack. Because I mean,
that's nice.
I thought that was kind of an easy thing for people to kind of like, oh, you needed to buy any kind of external battery pack to power your stuff, but I still get asked a bunch of times.
But it's also just annoying to have to like hook your camera up to an external pack, and like it's just a whole other thing that you have to do. Much easier to just be like, oh, I can just pop a new battery in. Yeah.
So, and then the other nice thing about the Shot Track is that when it's off, it's completely off. Like it's not like a GoPro that idles there and sucks up battery.
Yeah.
So and then to turn it on and start recording, you just flip a switch. That's it.
Accidentally leave my GoPro on all the time and kill the battery. Oh, I saw a good question from Joe Plays. He said Novrich reached 1 million or 1 million subscribers. What do you think about that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
showing that airsoft can get more mainstream.
Yeah, which is what we
want, because that's how you grow the sport.
So, like I think what a lot of people think is that they think that all of us airsoft on YouTube is in competition with one another. We're not in competition whatsoever.
No.
None of us think that way. Our goal, our goal or our mission as YouTubers, I mean, obviously it's to make entertaining content, and these are our jobs, but us as a community of airsoft YouTubers are all trying to help each other grow airsoft, so that way we have more people coming into the sport. That's our goal. Like, it's not to, my goal isn't to surpass Leah. It's not to surpass Novrich. You know, his goal is not to, surpass, like, I mean, he's surpassing us, but it's not to like say that he's the best and whatnot. It's just, his viewership is bigger because it's, it's interesting to watch people get shot.
In the face.
In the face with BBs.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm glad that airsoft is growing. I hope that we can keep expanding channels like this all over, because then way more people get into airsoft. There's more people at airsoft games, and they're more fun.
Yeah, and the more people that come into the game too, it'll attract more technology to the game as well, because people will see like, oh, this is a very big industry. I'm going to get into it with my technology. Also, too, one day I'll get 1 million.
Oh, what happened to Milsim Junkie? Do you know something about him?
Oh, yeah.
He's working in like the tactical industry now, and so he just basically doesn't have as much time to play airsoft, I think.
He would rather just play now, not film, which I get.
Because it's more fun.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to film.
It's way more fun. Yeah. It's way less stressful. Do you like GBBRs at all?
You gotta say the name.
Yeah. Oh, I can't see it. My vision is bad. So someone asked if we like GBBRs. Yes, they're fun, but I would rather use an AAG just because they're more accurate. And I don't know.
Here's a good one.
GBB only games are super fun. Yeah.
White Tall Airsoft, little kids in airsoft. I really think that fields should definitely start making groups for airsoft. Paintball does it. Paintball has like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced group. Yeah. I think for certain, depending on your field and how busy you get with little kids, little kids being like, I'll say like 12 to 10.
12 and under.
Yeah, 12 and under. They definitely need to have their own separate group of just other 12 to 10-year-olds. And then everyone else could probably play in like one big group.
Because you can modify the rules. Obviously, you can't have no minimum engagement distance if you're playing with someone that's 10 years old, because that just makes you kind of a crappy adult to be like, haha, I shot a 10-year-old in the face. I'm awesome. Like, all right, you're super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be really great if fields could divide, and it's not necessarily just 10 to 12-year-olds. It would be like anybody that's brand new at Airsoft. So that way you're not getting lit up by someone that comes to a field that plays at the same field every weekend and prides themselves on making people quit. Because all fields have those. You guys know that. All fields have that person.
Mm-hmm.
And that person's kind of a bad person, in my opinion. But it would be cool if they could divide them up a little more. Younger kids at Milsim games, I don't like. I've seen it a few times, and I don't think they're ready yet. And I think it's just weird. Like, it's not a good thing to me.
Yeah.
You need to be a certain age before you play Milsim game.
Also, too, it's like, it's in the rules, and we've seen one instance where the rules were broken for somebody, and they're like 12.
I don't know, the kid looked like freaking 8 to me.
Yeah, he was way too, like,
he was cutoff, like this tall.
Yeah, the cutoff age. the age really for that Milsim event was 18.
Yeah. It's 16 with an adult.
Okay, yeah.
It's
but
16
he was
you have to be with
near,
an adult.
He was nowhere near 16.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, I don't know. I actually shot them, and I felt kind of bad because I was like, because.
Well, and there was a case of where like the kid got shot and the dad got really angry. Like, why would you do that? It's just a little kid. And it's like, little kid shouldn't be at a Milsim game where there's no minimum engagement distance.
Yeah. Aaron Gooing. Yeah. Do you have any other hobbies?
I used to do jujitsu and MMA sparring. I really enjoyed that. I would like to do that again. And I used to run a lot, but then I ran a marathon and I hated it. And so I haven't ran that much since then.
I think my other hobby is building Mega Bloks stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But I haven't had any time to do that lately because I've been swamped.
Yes.
With getting married to this girl.
Mm-hmm. Are you coming to Oklahoma ever? Oh, it's going too fast. I can't read. Yes, next year for Broken Home 6, I guess. We'll be back in Oklahoma next year around Memorial Day. That is our current plan. Other than that, I don't know if we will be in Oklahoma again. We'll be in Texas, Houston, the Midwest. Or the South.
Where'd it go? Cyril Herrig, would you fly to? I saw this question earlier. It was would you fly to Navarich and play in Austria? Actually, yes.
Of course.
We're trying to plan that for next year, actually. So we might go to Border.
I hope Brigette
or Border War. I don't remember like which one is which, but whatever. We're planning on going to that with Navarich next year, hopefully.
Oh man, and I want to. Now that I saw Red Wolf Tim went to this giant game in Russia, it looked amazing. I want to go. So we have like a couple more minutes left of the live stream. We actually need to be getting on the road soon for Milsim West. We're already all packed up, so we just need to get on the road. We're going to be leaving here in like 30 minutes. So we'll take a few more questions, and then we're going to wrap this up in about 2 or 3 minutes.
That was a good question. A 1022 man. What do you think of
people who dress up in full impressions?
Yeah, who dress up in full impression kits just to scrimmage? That's a good question. I don't mind it. Actually, if you ever come across Airsoft videos from Japan, everybody goes to the field for normal pickup games in like full impressions. It actually, Airsoft games in Japan actually look more like cosplay events with BB guns than anything else. So I think it's kind of cool.
And it makes for cool photos. As long as like, I think impressions are awesome. As long as you're not a dick to other people and are like, you're not as good of an airsofter as me because your impression is, you don't have the right knee pads.
And also if you think that you are that thing, like if you wore a Navy SEAL like loadout and then you were like, I'm a SEAL.
Yeah. I'm just practicing for my future job. Oh, that's the worst. I hate those comments. Like, I'm a future Navy SEAL. Like, okay, sure. We should tell people that when you go to boot camp.
Yeah. That's not. Don't do that. That's
for sure. Do
if
it.
If you want to get hazed, you can do that. But no, I don't mind. It's fun. But yeah, as long as you're dressing up to have fun, and maybe like you and your friends are dressing up, it's cool.
Juan Perez, I think, asked, "How long have you guys been playing Airsoft?"
A long time. Since late 2002.
I've been playing since 2014 or 13. I think I've been playing since 2013 now, but I played inconsistently my first year. I would say like once a month. Now I play all the time.
Rubenstein, I am a future Navy SEAL.
Sure, yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for your service, future Navy SEAL.
Let's see here.
I saw Maddie Smith, I think, or Maddie. Leah, have you ever been hurt in Airsoft?
Yeah, Maddie.
Maddie Smith?
Yeah, yes. Maddie Smith. Have you?
I've not ever been seriously hurt. Where I got my call sign from was I got shot in the forehead at close distance, and it created this twice, and it created this huge goose egg on my forehead, and it bled, and I had this goose egg for like 3 weeks, and that's where I got my call sign, because people were like, "That's your unicorn bump." If you pick up Airsoft Insider, this most recent issue of Airsoft Insider, I'm in it. I did a player profile interview thing. I haven't even seen it yet, but I know there's a photo of me with my unicorn bump head thing in there.
So it went by. I was going to answer a question.
Okay. Let's do one more question, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Oh, well, that's kind of a crappy question.
What?
It was about budget airsoft guns. To generalize, because there was a bunch of.
We'll take another one after this one,
yeah,
just because
there's a bunch of budget airsoft gun questions. Just, I made a budget video.
You've made a couple, right?
Made a couple, yeah.
So. Watch them, and then also go
research.
Do your own. This is something that actually annoys me about a lot of people. Do some of your own research. Don't just ask people questions that are out there, because what those people are going to do is like Google the answer, and then they're going to tell you what they Googled. So just save yourself a step, Google it, learn all you can about it, and then ask questions. That would be awesome.
Here's a good one. Alicia Donan, what branch would you prefer enlisting in? That's more of a question for you, because I've already served.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I'm curious to hear what you would say. So if you had to pick, out of the branches of the U.S. military, the Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard, and no, wait, I fucked that up.
I think if I had to.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh man, I don't know. So I've actually never wanted to join the military. It's never been on my radar at all, because it's not my jam. I have issues with authority, and that's not a good place to go if you have issues with authority, basically.
But in Milsim, it's okay.
And I've the issue of mortality has always been a really huge thing to me. I've never wanted to put myself in that situation. So I have the utmost respect for people that can do that, but it terrifies me. So I would not want to do that. It sounds terrifying.
It can be.
So I don't know. I think I would either go. I feel like I would either go all in and go like as super like grunt as you can get, so like the Marines, or like as super posh as you can get, and I would go like Air Force.
I think you would.
I like Air Force, so that way like you could go. Instead of when you go to a country, you can stay in hotels and shit.
Yeah,
instead of
I'm pretty
camping.
Sure you would go Air Force. Pretty sure.
Yeah. So the only reason I say that is because I thought that I wouldn't like Milsim West games because they so closely mimic the military. But those are my favorite games. So I don't know.
I think you just like camping with me and then our friends.
Just like camping and playing BB Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's probably true too. Yeah. I really like camping, and
Commando Kurt over here.
And I really like BB Wars.
You guys can't see Commando Kurt. He's behind the. He's on the other side of the laptop.
He's the jet killer.
To answer some of the other questions, some people were asking about my service. I was in the U.S. Navy. I was a Fleet Marine Force hospital corpsman. So those are the hospital corpsmen that are attached to the Marine grunt units or logistics units, what have you. If you want an example of this, Flags of Our Fathers is the movie you want to watch.
Because it's about a corpsman.
It's about a corpsman. I think that part is lost on a lot of people.
That's actually how I knew what your job was, because I had read that book and it was one of my favorite books, and I was like, oh, FMF Corpsman, I know what he does because I read Flags of Our Fathers.
Iwo Jima was rough, man.
People are gonna get mad at you now.
I know.
Too soon. Okay.
Oh, there's a dog.
Oh, there's a dog here. Wait.
Wow.
It's a Weimaraner.
Holy cow.
But look at his eyes.
That was the scariest pan ever. Oh, I'm getting spooked out. Holy cow.
There we go. You're so sweet. Okay. Did you want to answer one more question, or are you?
No,
we're good. We're past time. We ran a whole like 6 minutes past 30 minutes.
We always do this. No. Okay, so to wrap up the live stream, I saw a couple of questions about where to go for Milsim events. So if you want to go to Milsim events or regional events, first you want to start off with milsimwest.com. That's going to be the hardcore 40-hour to 65-hour games. If you don't want to get that hardcore, AmericanMilsim.com. Those will be 3-day events that you get to camp out and go to a hotel room after the game.
I would recommend those for your first Milsim event, for sure.
And if you want to find regional stuff like fields, other teams, other people to play Airsoft with. Stores, AirsoftC3.com. And would you like to give any other information or informative websites for people to get Airsoft stuff? Maybe ThunderKids.com.
Yeah. I was getting. If you would stop talking, I could talk. Goodness. So actually, since we were in town, we went by and visited ThunderKids Northwest, which is an airsoft shop in Vancouver, Washington. And they're one of the very few people here in the U.S. that carry pea grenades and thermobaric grenades. So visit them if you live in the Pacific Northwest. They also have a website, thunderkidsnorthwest.com.
Yeah. All right, let's go operate.
All right, ready to operate. See you later, YouTube. See you on the tired Milsim side.
See you on the field.
Bye.